guys, welcome back to our channel. We are so excited for today's video. This is the first time on our channel we are actually reacting to her. Today we are reacting to Taylor Swift.
Whoa. Finally.
Wow. I mean, that's kind of surprising. She's a pretty huge name, but if you haven't heard of her, which would be crazy. You probably have. We are going to react today to her NPR Tiny Desk, which is a little bit old, but we're excited to react to it.
And we've watched the whole thing before, but we've never really analyzed it vocally.
Absolutely. And we're excited to react to this performance and her specifically because she is one of those people that people either love her or they do not love her. And at many times in my life, I've felt differently about her. I would say
one of those things,
I've felt both of those things at many different times in my life. And I would say right now, I believe that Taylor Swift is one of the most talented musicians in pop music right now. She is an incredible musician, and we're going to react to her vocally today. We're also going to talk about her musicianship for sure, but we're going to react to her vocally today because whether or not you think she is the best singer in the world, she's doing a lot of things right because she's still singing. Because she's still out there singing.
We're going to tell you, spoiler alert, we have talked about how we don't actually think she's a great singer.
Absolutely.
Like, in terms of our list of top amazing
singers.
voices who we just can't get enough of, you know, she's not on it. But when you watch her, one, her songwriting, oh my gosh.
Incredible.
Two, we watched this whole Tiny Desk and her musicianship, how she plays the guitar, how she's singing something, her phrasing throughout the whole thing. She's really just a wonderful musician that knows how to bring out emotions in people and really is a wonderful artist.
Absolutely.
So, you know, we might be breaking down some things with her singing that might not sound so great, but you know, don't ever forget that she's Taylor Swift.
Absolutely.
And we are two random people on the internet.
Well, and I think another disclaimer about it is whether or not we think she is one of the best vocalists or not, she sings some pretty difficult things.
100%.
And it kind of astounds us and surprises us. But I think it's just further proof of how vocal technique can help you. Like, having a good vocal technique and having a good foundation in singing can help you do just about anything. So she's a great example, and let's get started. So the song that she's singing that we're going to react to today is All Too Well. So let's listen.
Through the door with you, it was cold, something about it felt like home. Somehow when I left my scarf there at your sister's house, and you've still got it in your drawer even now. Your sweet disposition, my wide-eyed gaze, was singing in the car, getting lost upstate. Autumn leaves falling down like pieces into place. I can picture it after all these days, and I know it's long gone, and that magic's not here no more. And I might be okay, but I'm not fine at all. Cause there we are again on that little town street. You almost ran the red cause you were looking over at me. Wind in my hair, I was there, I remember it all too well. Photo album on the...
Okay, thoughts?
I think that if you listen to while she's talking in the performance, right before this, she has a lot of clarity that she doesn't have when she's singing. And the other thing I've noticed is she stops her air a lot.
That's what
All too well. And things are constantly kind of stopped and started.
Right.
And while, you know, it's just a beautiful vibe, right, for the song and absolutely what she's going for. I think in terms of how voices work well, right? The wind instruments. So you have to give them constant airflow. And that's what, a lot of people call support.
Right.
Is that breath support. It's not a push, it's constant airflow, constant airflow, constant airflow. And when you're constantly interrupting that airflow, you're stopping it and starting it and stopping it and starting it, it's really impossible to get a nice, consistent
And it's
airflow.
what we would say is inefficient, right? Efficiency is all we're looking for with singing. We're looking for efficiency in your vowels so that your pitch and tone, intonation is right, and efficiency in your air so that you're using all your air. I think, so if we're talking about things that she's doing well, I think that she is speaking. I do think she is speaking. Like, it almost literally sounds like she's talking. She writes these songs in her range pretty low because her voice is where it is, right? And then she hops up a little bit, usually for choruses and stuff like that. But I would say she is speaking. She is truly storytelling, speaking. It doesn't sound like she's putting on any sort of sound, right? Like, she's not
trying to sound like somebody else.
like somebody else, or even like elongating her vowels because she's singing. Sounds like she's speaking. So I think she does that phenomenally. But I would also say things she's not doing well is exactly like you said, is using her air and phrasing, right? We watched Olivia Rodrigo, not to compare everybody, but it's just an example that's fresh in my head. And she had really great phrasing and breath support and used that air all the way to the end of the phrase. So you can compare those two things to kind of see directly what we're talking about. Like, obviously Taylor Swift is a successful vocalist and musician,
100%.
but if this song were to be sung better, that's what I would be looking for.
Absolutely.
Is better phrasing and use of air.
And, honestly, we're not giving Taylor Swift a vocal lesson.
No, we're not.
We're giving you a vocal lesson.
Exactly.
We're not trying to, say that she's
To
not
change
a good,
her,
We're not trying to change her. But if you were to try to sing the song, this is something that I would tell you.
Absolutely.
Is that really connecting those phrases is going to give you a lot more vibrant sound. It's going to give you a full voice.
And we talk about this a lot, too, on our channel. The difference between being a good singer and a great singer is so minimal. And while she's a fantastic musician, she's a good singer, right? Yeah. Like, she is a good singer. Sure. She's not a great singer. And that would be one of the things that could make that difference, right?
John Mayer is one of my favorites.
Right.
He's not a great singer.
Right.
I think he does cool things,
he does
amazing
really great things
vocally. He knows how to write for his voice. Taylor Swift knows how to write for her voice.
Yep.
It doesn't mean that they're bad singers. It just means that where their strengths are is not, just in the vocal department.
Absolutely.
Sure.
But also look at their careers. So,
fabulous.
I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? In the end.
Well, if you want to talk about singing.
If we want to talk about singing, which is what we do here.
we're talking about here.
We're talking about good and great.
That's right.
Counter, your cheeks were turning red. You used to be a little kid with glasses in a twin-size bed. Your mother's telling stories about you on the t-ball team. You told me about your past, thinking your future was me. I know it's long gone, and there was nothing else I could do. I forget about you long enough to forget why I needed.
I know it's all gone and da, 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 da. So that's an example of when we hear her air breaking up, right? And I know it's all gone and da 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 da. I feel like she breathes almost every other.
And I know it's
right.
Yeah.
And even if she's not taking a full breath, it feels like there's like glottal stops.
Yeah.
And again, she's speaking, right? Yeah. Like, this is still like, it sounds natural.
Do you mind trying it with a nice connected phrase?
Exactly. And I know it's all gone and da 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 da.
And that's not to say that one is better or not, but in terms of when you talk about musical sentences,
absolutely,
a phrase is really connected. And it seems like this is all part of a phrase, right? She's not breathing where she's stopping her air. She's like using it to try to get to, certain places. And we don't believe you need to do that.
Well, it also, I think, ultimately makes it more difficult for you. So think about it. Like, we talk about air being like a train, right?
Yeah.
Like, air is moving like on the train tracks, okay? And when you stop it, it's inefficient and it's harder because you have to take a breath. You force yourself to almost hyperventilate.
Shuts everything
down.
It
shuts everything down. Yeah. So when you approach a phrase like that, or you approach a chorus like that, and you send your air all the way through, and you send that train of air all the way through to the end, it actually becomes easier.
Yeah.
It's easier to sing. And then it also sounds better. So it's just, again, food for thought. When you guys are singing phrases, you know, instead of making it choppy, obviously you can have stylistic choices like that. But I think for vocal efficiency and even sound, it's...
Yeah, from a vocal perspective, it's always a better idea to keep your air going.
Keep your air going.
Don't stop your air.
Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Don't stop. Get it, get it.
Cause there we are again in the middle of the night, dancing around the kitchen in the refrigerator light. Down the stairs, I was there, I remember it all too well. Maybe I asked for too much. Maybe this thing was a masterpiece till you tore it all up.
Example. She also adds a lot of consonants. So we talk about Ariana Grande, right? Ariana Grande has lack of consonants. She has like a lack of, she mumble sings, but her phrasing and airflow and efficiency is there because of that. So when you think about singing, you know, consonants are kind of our worst enemy because they force us to literally close our mouths, right?
Yeah.
So let's listen to that phrase from that first part of the bridge, and that's what's happening here is she's letting the consonants get in the way.
Maybe we got lost in translation. Maybe I asked for too much.
Maybe we got lost in translation. Maybe I ask instead of maybe we got lost in translation. Maybe I asked for too much.
Yeah,
you sing through it.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
this kind of sounds a little bit like yelling a little bit,
right,
you know,
right.
Which is an effect, right?
Right.
There's a lot of people who do that, you know, to great effect. But but at least in our full vocal philosophy, you can have a lot of clarity and a lot easier of a time singing it.
Yeah.
If you have those more forward vowels, you kind of
hop from vowel to vowel.
Yeah, hop from vowel to vowel. So you're not using all the L's and the M's.
Right.
You know, she kind of uses a lot of that, and that's where she kind of jumps off from.
Right. And I think a good, like, one of the best vocal examples or exercises that we give to people who are dealing and struggling with this is to sing just the vowels. Like, sing the phrase without consonants.
Yeah. It's tough.
It's hard to do.
Weird.
I'd have to really think about it.
You really have to
look at the words and think and know what you're singing. But when you try that, you learn like the meat of the phrase. Like that's the skeleton of what you're singing. And then you add the consonants. So obviously you have words that are understandable.
Singing on your vowels is always a better idea than singing like L's and M's.
Absolutely.
And a lot of that's going to feel different because a lot of people try to sound like their favorite artist and stuff. But, your voice is going to sound the best
as
when you sing on the vowels.
Yeah.
Just sing on the vowels. You know, use your air, sing on the vowels, and you're going to have, a lot, we use the word efficiency, but it's literally going to be easier to sing.
Absolutely.
And you're not going to get as vocally tired.
Absolutely.
So, these are just tips and tricks that have helped us a lot.
Totally. Yeah.
Got lost in translation. Maybe I asked for too much. Maybe this thing was a masterpiece till you tore it all up. Running scared, I was there. I remember it all too well. And you call me up again just to break me like a promise, so casually cruel. In the name of being honest, I'm a crumpled up piece of paper lying here, 'cause I remember it all, too well. Time won't fly, it's like I'm paralyzed by it. I'd like to be my old self again, but I'm still trying to find it. After plaid shirt days and nights when you made me your own, now you mail back my things and I walk home alone. But you keep my old scarf from that very first week, 'cause it reminds you of innocence and it smells like me. You can't get rid of it, so you remember it all too well. 'Cause there we are again when I loved you so, back before you lost the one real thing you've ever known. It was rare, you were there, you remember it all too well. Wind in my hair, you were there, you remember it all down the stairs. You were there, you remember it all. It was rare, you were there, you remember it all too well.
I think another thing that I would say when you hear her voice like isolated like this, you can hear some air escaping, which is something we talk about a lot, which
kind
means
of breathy.
It's a little breathy.
Yeah.
And that's obviously a choice you can make. I don't think it's a choice she's making. I think that that's how she's singing, and it's because of what we've talked about in this whole video, which is air.
Yeah.
Because the way that our voices work as wind instruments is they need air to literally work. Like phonation, our vocal folds are like flaps of skin, and in order to come together, you need the right amount of air to bring them all the way together.
I'd also say she's holding on a bit.
She does hold on a little bit, yeah.
And it's so interesting. I was thinking while I was watching this that there's a character to this.
Absolutely.
It's not unpleasant, right? None of this is bad.
No.
But at least, this is something that we talk about a lot because I've had a lot of vocal health issues.
Right.
And my voice sounded a lot like this, where it was that breathy, little bit of air escaping. And it happened because of my vowels. I was kind of all too well, right? It's this.
Yeah.
And it's husky sounding, But if I have a nice forward vowel, you can go all too well.
Yeah.
Has a lot more clarity, it's a lot easier for me to sing, and my voice isn't going to be shot at the end of it. So, it's not that we're saying the artistry of it is
not
no good.
there, absolutely.
But purely from a singing perspective,
absolutely,
you might want to try good constant airflow.
Yeah.
It's nice. Forward vowels,
absolutely.
Speak.
And I think at the end of the day, like so many people we've talked to, or so many people we've reacted to, she is a successful musician and
100%.
Doesn't need our opinion to have a career.
You don't have to be the best singer in the world to have a wonderful career.
And there is so much proof and evidence of that. And so none of this is to discourage you. It's actually to encourage you because the reality is she is a singer. She is known for 100%. Singing, right? Like if you say, oh, what is Taylor Swift? She's a singer, right? But I think when you are trying to pursue singing, especially if you're younger or new to it, or you don't have access to like lessons or something like that.
Or you just love singing. Yeah.
Exactly. Or you just love singing and you want to get better at it. These are the things that help you grow in your craft and help you grow in that skill, because it is something you have to work on, you know? It is something you have to practice and work with, and yes, there's character and quality to what she's doing, so don't try to just replicate that. Be you, and these are the things that you can do to find your own voice. So that's ultimately what we're saying.
100%.
Yeah, but we hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to hit that like button, and if you happen to be new, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified next time that we post. We make videos like this every single week, and we will see you guys next time.